हाँ, मैं आजाद हूँ रोज घुट घुट के जीने से। आजाद हूँ अपनी ख्वाहिशों को दबा दबा के जीने से।
आजाद हूँ बंदिशों और रोक टोक से भरी जिंदगी से। आजाद हूँ रोज अपनी हदों को कम होते देखने से।
आजाद हूँ बेबसी और बेचारेपन के एहसास से। हाँ, मैं आजाद हूँ फिर खुशियों की मिठास चखने के लिए।
आजाद हूँ फिर अपनी जिंदगी अपनी शर्तों पे जीने के लिए।
आजाद हूँ फिर अपने अरमानों को उड़ान देने के लिए।
हाँ, मैं आजाद हूँ डायबिटीज से।
ये मेरा उत्सव है।
मैं आजाद हूँ।
Namaskar, Swagatam, and once again, a very warm and hearty welcome to all our viewers watching us live, thousands of them across the country and across the globe, watching the Festival of Freedom, Muktotsav, in its 7th edition of 2021. Yes, today is the grand finale of this 4-day mega annual event, the culmination of awards which we saw over the past 3 days, and today is the grand finale where we have very insightful, interesting talks which are going to open up our perspective about diabetes reversal. We have special guests lined up today. We have our special guest, Dr. Bhushan Patwardhan ji, who is an ex-Vice Chancellor of University Grants Commission, UGC. We have a medical guest, Dr. Banshi Sabu, who's been the past president of Research Society for Study of Diabetes in India, RSSDI. And our chief guest who will be joining us later this evening is none other than the renowned diabetologist, physician, and author from UK who has revolutionized and pioneered the reversal of type 2 diabetes in the world. So yes, after a lot of energy, a lot of exhilarating awards, role models, stories which have inspired us, today we will be heading into the day 4, which is going to be a lot on deep insights on diabetes reversal. And yes, just for those who have joined us for the first time, we'll just get a peek view of what has happened in the last 3 days. Day 1, we had the Freedom Champions Awards and the IGT Awards. Well, these awards was for those who had experienced freedom in different ways. We'll be going into details later. And we had the guest of honor, Padma Shri Dr. Mukesh Batra, the pioneer of modern homeopathy in India. Day 2 saw healthy weight loss champions and athletic identities, as well as some special awards being given out. And our guest of honor that day was Dr. Ali Irani, the head of department, renowned physiotherapist and sports medicine expert, and also head of department for the physio at the Nanavati Hospital, Mumbai. And yesterday, that is day 3, we had the GTD Champions Awards for the brave warriors who took on the test of glucose tolerance, drank 15 teaspoons of pure glucose, and emerged successful. Yes, and we had our special guest of honor yesterday, Padma Vibhushan and eminent scientist, Dr. Raghunath Mashelkar. And today is the grand finale. And before we move ahead, I would like to invite the man behind this revolution, this reversal of thousands of diabetics across the country, across the world, who has made their dream come true. In fact, they call him the Messiah, the man with the magic wand, none other than Dr. Pramod Tripathi. So,
hey, it's always exciting to come back and connect with everyone. फिर से वापस आने में बहुत मजा आता है. डॉक्टर दुरिया हमेशा मुझे बड़ा चढ़ा के चने के पेड़ पे डाल देती है. She's always putting me up on a big pedestal. But anyway, big thanks to you and all the wonderful people who have appreciated the wonderful work that has happened through the entire year. And today is the day of summarizing what's happened in the 3 days. Have very interesting listening talks of Dr. Patwardhan, Dr. Sabu, Dr. Taylor, and if possible, a little panel discussion in between. And I'm going to be on a rapid fire in a very short while from now. But first and foremost, we have to welcome with a big round of applause our special guest of the day, Dr. Bhushan Patwardhan ji. National Research Professor of AYUSH, former Vice Chairman, UGC, and Chairman of the Indian Council of Social Science Research, recipient of several orations, awards, holds 8 Indian to US patents, 175 plus scientific publications, and 9,800 plus citations. Member of several academic research and policy committees, Niti Aayog, Planning Commission, Lancet Citizens Commission, National Board Examination, United Nations, World Health Organization, Geneva, just name it. And Dr. Bhushanji is there. Very, very quiet personality. I got to meet him a week back, and within a few minutes, we could see the spread of his mind in terms of grasping the concept and looking at from research perspective what all can be done. It was an absolute delight being with Sir. He's also a fellow of the National Academy of Sciences and of Medical Sciences in India, founder, editor-in-chief, Journal of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine. There are many, many more things on his record, but I'm sure he'll be happy with this much being shared so that we can quickly invite him on the stage. Sir, please come on the stage and give your blessings and good wishes to us that we have a wonderfully successful program going forward. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you, Dr. Tripathi. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
So, sir, what the plan is, first 3 days, whatever has happened, there are some 100 plus awards, almost 100 awards given. We'll take you through it in a rapid fire format. It's going to be extremely fast and it'll be good for the mind because it'll try to keep pace with what has happened. There'll be jaw drops at different point of time. Suddenly, aisa bhi hota hai, aisa bhi free hota hai. I mean, this much of freedom, so much of complications reversing. What is happening over here? So for you and the entire audience who's gathered, we'll just go through a quick revision. After that, we'll be looking forward to your speech. So here, let me begin the rapid fire. I've been taking the rapid fire towards the end, but we'll start with the rapid fire right now. I request the tech team for the fireworks of day one, please. First, dan, ta-da, ta-da. All the people of day one, may they get the necessary deserving attention. We had Freedom Champion Awards on this day, and it was a big day. 35 awards on longest freedom, miraculous freedom, insulin medicine, terminator, HbA1c, comorbidities. Okay, special awards given and IGT in the end. So I'm going to go through a rapid fire very, very fast. First award for longest freedom story, female, Sharmila from Pune, 9 years, she is free. Venkatesh Guduru, 42 from Pune, almost 8.5 years, he is free. These are the longest stories. Miraculous story for male, maximum years of insulin stop. Rakesh Khannaji came and spoke his heart out. 33 years of insulin stopped. He was diagnosed as a type 1 and he realized it's not really type 1 after knowing the C-peptide test of around 0.42, which jumped to above 1 in 3 months' time. For the female category for miraculous freedom was Arunimaji from Kolkata, 32 years of insulin stopped. For super miraculous freedom story for freedom from 30 plus years of diabetes medication, we had Prabha joining in from Erlakulam, 72 years young, 35 years diabetes, 26 years of insulin stopped and medicine stopped. For the ladies category, super miraculous, we had Padma Bhairappa from Bengaluru joining in, 32 years of diabetes medication stopped. Insulin terminated, more than 100 units of insulin stopped was Gurbir Kaur Guladi from Pune, 170 units of insulin stopped for more than a year. And for the male category, we had Shriram Ghatpandeji from Mumbai, 230 units of insulin stopped, and they are stopped for more than a year. For medicine terminator, we had Elvira joining in from Mumbai, 5 types of medicine stopped with 11 years of diabetes. And for the male category, we had Prashant joining from Kalyan, 9 years of diabetes. Largest HbA1c drop. This is jaw-dropping, literally. Anand VK, HbA1c coming down from 7.6 to 5.6, 5 years of diabetes. In the female category, we had Nalini again from Bengaluru from 15.6 to 5.5 HbA1c. Lowest HbA1c award went to Janardhan with 4.7 HbA1c from Thane. And longest hypothyroid story went to Sakina Momin, who got rid of 10 years of thyroid medication. Longest hypertension story was for Sameer Modi from Mumbai, 30 years of hypertension medication stopped. And Lalita with 22 years of hypertension medication stopped from Gurugram. For longest dyslipidemia, anti-cholesterol medications, Sundari Rao joined from UAE, 24 years of medication stop. And in the male category, we had Surendranath, 72 years from Bengaluru with 30 years of dyslipidemia medication stop. After that, we went for the kidney reversal, and the largest drop but not normalized serum creatinine female went to Sumanti Jayaraman with a staggering drop of creatinine of 2.93. Below 0.8 is ideal. She was much above that, came down by 3 points. And in the male category, it was Tapan Agarwal with a drop of almost 2 points on creat, 31 age, young man, kidney getting damaged, getting relief of that, crazy blessings flowing. We also looked at largest drop and normalization of serum creatinine in female, and it was Maitreyi Mukherjee. Drop was of 0.47 and her creat completely normalized below 0.8. In the male category, it was Rahul Patil from Banswara, 1.28 drop, and the creat came below 1. Okay. Then we went to microalbumin in female, 260 plus point drop from Dehradun, Dr. Poonam Mehtaji. And in the male category, it was Subramanya Avdani from Bengaluru, 500 plus points of microalbumin drop. Special awards were given for best all-round reversal to Debashish from Varanasi, diabetes, dyslipidemia, creatinine, HSCRP, all normalized with 37 kg weight loss. And we had a super special award for metabolic syndrome reversal, diabetes, insulin plus tablets, both stops along with hypertension and dyslipidemia, and went to Pawan Kumar Dixit from Bengaluru with all these durations of problems that he was going through. Freedom Champions Awards happened after this, which was about impaired glucose tolerance. Those people who missed GTT by a few points because of the fasting being a little higher than 100. And less than 40 years, we had Shruti from Nasik joining in, Vivekanand from Chindwara, 40 to 50 years, Raji from Bengaluru, Neeraj from Pune. 50 to 60 years female was Rajashri from Vasai, 21 years of diabetes. 50 to 60 male was Ravi Prakash, Chennai, 25 years of diabetes. More than 60 years female Savitri from Chennai, 25 years of diabetes, could get rid of all medication and actually handle 15 teaspoons of sugar. And in the male category, Suresh Kumar from Bengaluru with 21 years of diabetes. IGT more than 70 years also, we had a Leilavati, but of course the photo is a younger one. 12 years of diabetes. She, in fact, is a doctor out there. She was very happy with the result from Bengaluru. And in the male category, we had HKC Swami from Bengaluru, again with 11 years of diabetes reversed. That was a short day 1. Let's the fireworks go for day 2 now, please. So I get a breather. But it's been a joy. It's been a joy to see these megastars come and take stage and speak up their heart out. Day 2, rapid fire goes, healthy weight loss champions, weight loss, fittest couple, fittest family, athletic identity awards, and many other awards were there on this day. 38 awards, 20-25 kg, male Indore, Garima. She talked of the Sarafa over there, where they tend to eat a lot of sweets and how she's enjoying to eat sweets over there. 20-25 for male, it was Kuldeep from Jodhpur. 25 to 30 kg female, Usha from Delhi. Male, it was Rajesh again from Delhi. 30-35 kgs, Aruna Khare from Rewa, MP. 30-35 male, Piyush Chikse, 35 kg from Nagpur. More than 35 kg weight loss also was there. Ashleen from Gurugram, 42 kg weight loss. Stable, doing really well. Maximum weight loss in menopausal women, which is very difficult to handle, was Jai Punam, 30 kgs again from Delhi. Fittest couple less than 50 years was Hema and Ramesh, and they shared their gym story, the number of kgs of weight, 60 kg deadlift and all Hema is doing, and really having time of their life. Both of them lost more than 20 kgs each. More than 50 years, 50th fittest couple. We had a couple actually joining us from Illinois. It was in the morning, 7:30 a.m. that they joined us. Both of them together at 30 plus kg of weight loss. Fittest family joined us from Tanzania, sir. Dar es Salaam, Anurag Kaur Alak, teacher over there, and the entire family together has lost 62 kgs of weight. We also had a weight gain category because weight loss is easy. We find weight gain for the low BMI is tough. And in the female category, we had Vishaka with 16 kg healthy weight gain, good muscle growth. In male category, we had Virendra joining from Pune with 11 kg weight gain. Athletic identity is something that we push and really make them go through a 3-to-1 formula and find their DNA, deep natural alignment. हिंदी में कहते हैं अपना पिंड ढूंढो, आप क्या हो अंदर से, कौन से athlete हो, what are you? And for cyclists less than 50, we had Akshata actually joining from Melbourne. Her city is Shimoga, but she joined from Melbourne. She had completed more than 100 kilometers cycling. In male, we had Abhilash from Florida, 119 kilometers cycling. More than 50 years female Shakila 100 kilometers Bengaluru, and more than 50 years male Dhanunjay Madam 100 kilometers 10 times from Hyderabad. That's the amount of athletic prowess that some of them have gathered. Gymmer less than 50 years Hema Ramesh 60 years external weight. More less than 50 years Hyderabad Shankar. More than 50 years Gymmer Akila Tiruchirappalli. Small towns, big towns, international, national, people from all across the world joining and celebrating in Muktotsav. Gymmer for more than 50 years male D Ramamurthy from Mumbai. Multi-sports less than 50 years Manoj from Siliguri. Runner, cyclist and gymmer. More than 50 years female Dr. Preeti from Delhi. 108 Surya Namaskara, 5 times cycling up to 25 kilometers. Multi-sports more than 50 years male Chennai. 202 kilometers cycling and sprint triathlon. Runner less than 50 years Dr. Atul Kumar Dubey from Allahabad. Medical doctor out there. Hi doctor, and all his fraternity is paying a salute to him for doing 42 kilometers marathon. More than 50 years, we had Nagaraj joining in from Bangkok, and less than 50 years, we had a yogi. We have an athletic yogi classification in identity. Male, we had Guru Raj from Bengaluru. He has done 108 Surya Namaskaras daily for a long period of time, more than a month, and now paused. In females, we had Jayalakshmi again from Bengaluru. She's done for 30 days back-to-back 108 Surya Namaskaras. More than 50 years male, we had Rajpal Sharmaji from Faridabad joining it with 90, 80 and 108 Surya Namaskaras. He's been able to do it at the age of 72. Yogi for more than 50 years female was Srividya Samaveti from Hyderabad. Again, she was doing a lot of advanced asanas and 108 Surya Namaskaras. Best athletic influencer motivator on the groups for female category went to Rajkumari, and she shared a wonderful video. She's been free for almost 3 years and inspiring a lot of people. At the age of 66, she is a role model. And motivator for male was Nilesh Barot from Mehsana. He travels from Mehsana all across Gujarat on his cycle and inspires everyone. Special awards for longest fasting went for Shruti, again from Nasik, for 9 days of SNS fasting. Most diligent participant was Anjuman with 18 consults, inspiring role model. This is worth looking. He actually looks like a hero now, Dr. Anand Dubeji from Mirzapur. Ideal physique. Graceful aging, we had Thomas Padikala, and he's again a big role model for many people over here. He's done 100 kilometers multiple times as a true FFD legend. He does Shirshasana. He's done Shirshasana on all corners of Andaman and Nicobar, and sent his video, which is viral in its own way. Most powerful inner transformation, because we do a lot of work on stress release and positivity building. For female category went to Kshitija from Kolhapur, and for the male was Shankar Rajan, who joined from Jakati, Kerala. Let's go to the day 3 now. As I take one more deep breath in, let the fireworks go for day 3, please. I'm loving the smile on your face, sir, as you're watching and trying to grab all the events that have happened. Last day, which was yesterday, where we had Dr. Raghunath Mashilkarji come and speak, was the pinnacle day in a way, creme de la creme, the GD Champions Awards. And that was for various age categories, different occupation categories, and many other awards. So we go rapid fire here again. GD champion, less than 40 years female, Preeti from Bengaluru. 40 years male, Pawan from Bengaluru. 40 to 50 female, Amita from Udupi. And she had a crazy story to share with her husband yesterday. It's worth watching for everyone who's seeing the program for the first time. 40 to 50 male was Raghav from Bothel. It's I think in US somewhere. 50 to 60 female, Greta from Hubli. 50 to 60 male was Chinmay Datta from Kolkata. 60 to 70 years GDT female, Manasi with 20 years of diabetes from Amche Pune. 60 to 70 years male was TV Subramaniam from Delhi. 15 years of diabetes duration. He had conquered it. Corporate award went to Varkal Kushal Rao, 57 from Ikeja, which is in Nigeria. And business owner was Bhaskaran Srinivasan from Hyderabad. Independent professional was Ashwin Manjeshwar from Mumbai. Service was Naresh Gaur with IT from Pune. Healthy Doctor Award went to Dr. Madhav from Pune again. Best Homemaker GD champion is from Dubai, originally from Cochin, Sangeeta Sridham. Retired category went to Pallavi Valunchkar, who was an ex-service delivery head with a big ID company. 14 years. She's been with us for 8 years now, passing GTT. And special awards for the most successful mentor are past participants who help new participants free of charge. They kind of spread the word. It creates a satsang. And that went to Sarika from Noida. 7 years she's diabetes she's conquered and really diligently helping a lot of people. For male category, it went to Anand from again Noida. Both of them doing a wonderful job. We had 12 groups of WhatsApp where people were undergoing a 4-month process of how to attempt GTD. So the most successful group amongst the 12 groups was group number 1, which we awarded yesterday, and 2 diet experts who took extra efforts. We awarded them also, Sanjana and Dr. Medini, yesterday. More than 70 years female, very special award of GD champion female went to Sarita Zante from Goa, 9 years of diabetes. And for male, it went to Major General Arun. And he and his wife again had a beautiful story to share yesterday. It was really eye-grabbing, heartwarming, soul-touching, whatever they shared. GD champion award for maximum times clear female is Madhumita for 4 times from Pune, and male is Shashank for 6 times from Pune. Again, old batches, a lot more people used to be from Pune. So we've got a lot of people from Pune doing it repeatedly. Super special awards to close was GD champion free from insulin tablets. Sir, it's heard once you start on external insulin, 70% beta cells are gone. It's very difficult to not be without tablets and insulin. And we've got many people now, I think it's the count maybe more than 20 people who are free of insulin, free of tablets, and have cleared GTD. And the winner yesterday was Lieutenant Colonel V.K. Bhatnagarji from Mumbai, ex-army veteran, and then now incorporates 12 years of diabetes, doing wonderfully well. So I pause over here to listen to you and listen you share, listen your views. Thank you very much.
To you, Dr. Tripathi.
Yeah.
I really have...
let's have the video of Dr. Bhushanji on right now on the screen. Yes. I could manage it in 15 minutes. Great. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a very exciting firework, and you really did a great job, presenting in such a short time. And I really have no words, to express what you showed. 3 days of people who have achieved. Kudos to them. I would like to first congratulate all the winners, and I salute their spirit, because in the whole thing, your own determination plays a vital role, And I would like to really call you as future doctor, because I trust that future doctors will not give you medicine. Future doctors will look at you. Look at the person, pinda you talked about, So what is your pinda? They look at you and then they design a package for you. That's what you are doing, exactly what you are doing. So I think that slowly the world is getting aware that while medicines are important, we cannot medicalize society. Today, unfortunately, we have medicalized the society and we are making people believe that you will get cure only by taking medicine. I think this is an extremely wrong message which we are giving to people. As a student of health sciences, I must tell you what we teach to our students in the first lecture. We tell them that health is in your hand, and health is something which is very precious to be outsourced to anyone. You have to own it. There are 1,000 people who can guide you, who can inspire you, but ultimately you have to actively participate in that. And it's like a house, health is like a house which is stable on the 4 pillars. Like any house is stable on 4 pillars. Health, house, these 4 pillars are one of the most important pillar of health is nutrition. The second important pillar is lifestyle. The third important pillar is environment. And the fourth important pillar is genetics. Now, Dr. Tripathi, out of these 4 pillars, if any one of these pillars becomes weak, then you need a support system, You need teku, what we call it is in Marathi, the support, so that the building remains stable, even if one is weak. And that support system is actually medical care. But in the process, what we have done, we have forgotten about these 4 real pillars. And we are concentrating only on that support system, which is also important, but it becomes important only when you lose any one of them. And out of these 4 pillars, 3 are completely in our own hands. Completely in our own hands. I would say 2 are completely in our own hands, nutrition and lifestyle. A third, environment, we have to live in wherever we are, When we are in Pune, we have to live in Pune traffic. So we can't hardly do something about it. But nutrition and lifestyle is in our own hand. Genetics is something which we are gifted by nature, and we have to live with it, but we can protect and we can prevent this sort of thing. So what I could see what you are doing, actually you are doing something which is very precious to me. Why I'm saying so is I have seen diabetes patients, who are suffering, who are in great agony, who are in great distress, who don't know what to do, and everybody is there to give them some kind of advice. Even if you travel in a bus, there will be 10 people who will tell you 10 different nuktas how to get rid of diabetes. And there will be super specialists, and I can tell you that super specialists are important. They are important, but they are important in certain conditions. As a general diabetes management, I feel that if we still keep on believing that I am a drug researcher, so I can tell you from my perspective, if I keep on dreaming or hoping that I am going to discover a pill, a magic pill, which people will pop and they will get cure of diabetes, I think I am living in a fool's paradise. This is never going to happen. Diabetes is something which cannot be cured by taking only medicines. Medicines will be needed sometimes to some extent for some time, but ultimately the mission what you are running, freedom for diabetes, is the key. You can become free from diabetes by taking control in your own hand with help of expert like you. I must also tell all the viewers, that please, when I'm telling you that your health is in your hand, don't take it completely in your hand. You need expert to guide you, and those experts are Dr. Tripathi and their team of doctors who are working round the clock with them. And I'm so happy to see people who have passed GTT, people who have done miracles in athletic performances, not only cycling or athletic others, but also yoga. You are taking a holistic view, I would say. The poster which you see behind me comes from Ayurveda. We call it as systems Ayurveda. By the way, today in medicine also it has become a systems medicine. Medicine is not only one, it is the integrative medicine. You have to look into everything together, So medicine, people many times in our mind, especially in Indian mind, we have been told that medicine and health are synonyms, which they are not. Health is entirely different, medicine is entirely different, and medicine is not necessarily equivalent to material medicine, which we pop as pill or syrup or whatever, or injections. Medicine is a much larger term. And I think that we have been completely undermining the power of ourself to heal. Because healing power is here in our mind, and how to ignite that. And I'm happy that you are also taking yoga, because I saw the Shirshasana and yoga and all other stuff, the meditation and yoga, not just physical yogasana, but the meditation, dhyana, all these are equally important, because I feel that today we are living in a situation, and that situation has become more visible, palpable because of Corona. Two enemies, I would say. One, most important, is inflammation. And second, insulin resistance. And these two can be effectively handled by behavioral changes, behavioral modification, nutritional modification, diet modifications. Medicine plays hardly a role in this process. The metabolic syndrome, what we talk about, is essentially revolves around inflammation and insulin resistance. And the work which you have done and the kind of people's profile you have shown, who have got freedom from diabetes, I'm sure that you are handling and you are targeting and you are hitting nail on its head. You are actually addressing inflammation, and you are addressing stress, and so you are addressing the insulin resistance. And I was surprised to see that those who are on insulin for a long time also, those practically may have lost insulin making capacity in their own beta cells. There has been complete revival. And now revival is not a myth. In science also, we know that how cells regenerate, how cells revive. So don't get frightened even if you have lost your capabilities today. That's what I can tell you, or your patients, if you have a proper guide who is well trained in medicine. Why I like Dr. Tripathi, because you are trained in medicine yourself, so you know the human body, you know the physiology, and I think there are three important principles in treatment, as you know. But many times we ignore, like we ignore the pillars of health. We also ignore basics of medicine. Medicine relates to pharmacology, wherein drugs will come, physiology, where behavior and diet will come, and psychology, where mind will come. But our unfortunately focus is only on medicine, medicine, medicine. So in short, medicine is needed, but doctors will decide when it is needed. Physiology is in your hand. Strengthen that, Psychology is in your hand, how to get de-stress, how to strengthen your mind, how to create more confidence, more self-confidence, and how to build the whole package with help of experts like you. This is a great service. So kudos to your work, and your entire team, because I know that it is very easy for a medical practitioner to open a clinic and keep on giving medicines to people lifelong, But the kind of work which you are doing is in the reverse way. You are trying to free people, You are not trying to retain them, you are trying to free them. So that's why I like your work, and that's why I thought that I should come to this Muktotsav and witness your success stories. And I'm sure many more will come. And thousands of people from different parts of the world I could see they are getting benefited, and they will continue to get benefit in a larger number. My best wishes to you. Namaskar, and all the best to all Muktotsavis and those who are going to join in future.
Great, great, great. Thank you so much. I think very, very interesting perspective. Not that it's not known, but when it comes from you and when it's capsulated in terms of pharmacology, physiology, psychology, we hadn't thought of it as three buckets, though we've been doing work a lot on psychology and diet and nutrition. I think environment part, genetic part also very, very relevant besides diet and this one. So great, sir. Thank you very much. Please be around. And I think what we will do right away is meet with the ex-president of Research Society for Study of Diabetes in India, Dr. Banshi Shabuji. He's in the flight airborne right now somewhere, and he has promised that he'll try and join as soon as possible at 7:15, 7:20. But what he has done wonderfully well is he has captured in 10 minutes some of the deepest aspects in terms of research with respect to diabetes reversal, and also stages of reversal from the pharmacology medicine perspective. So let me introduce the great gentleman, Dr. Banshi Shabuji first, and then we will listen to his video. So Dr. Banshi Shabuji stays in Ahmedabad, and he's the chief diabetologist and chairman of the Diabetes Care and Hormone Clinic at Ahmedabad. He's been the president for one of the most powerful bodies for diabetes in India, which is RSSDI, from 2019 to 2020. He's awarded as one of the most impactful healthcare leaders by World Health and Wellness Congress. He also launched a project Diabetes Free India 2030, which is acknowledged by the Honorable President of India, Sri Pranab Mukherjee ji. Again, the list of things is long for him in terms of honor with the fellowship of American College of Endocrinology, American College of Physicians, International College of Nutrition, Royal College of Physicians, Glasgow, Edinburgh, London, MNMS, Diabetology. He is also the president of IRO, which is the Indian Obesity Society. From 2016 to 2020, he was an honorary secretary of the Diabetes in Asia Study Group. So is very actively involved in research, guiding, very open person with a very humble background, coming from a very small city and being a part of 10 siblings. He was, and I've gone through his history. It's very, very inspiring. So I request the tech team to share his impeccable, technically, medically, some people might feel it's a little detailed, but it's worth going through. Please listen to his talk. you will definitely get a lot of insights from it. So technical team, please share Dr. Banshi Jabu's recorded video now.
Thank you, Dr. Pramod, for inviting me on this very important occasion where Professor Roy Teller is also coming on the same program. I'll be talking in next 10 to 12 minutes the reversal of type 2 diabetes, an evidence-based approach, and how we can divide it into in a staged reversal rather than reversal at one go. I don't have any conflict to make on this presentation. We know that type 2 diabetes was considered to be an irreversible or a progressive disease with beta cell damage. But actually this concept was disproved after the post-bariatric surgery. It got reversed. And then reversal refers to the change in direction of underlying process. To say that type 2 diabetes is reversed is a statement at a point in time. It implies no future prediction. The paper of Roy Teller, direct trial, had created a lot of hype and hope in all the people with type 2 diabetes that type 2 diabetes can be reversed. Even it was not a first paper. Before that, there was a paper which was published, which was also talking a short course of intensive lifestyle and drug therapy can help for a prolonged remission of type 2 diabetes. Even there is a data from India also, a small data of a 12% with 3-month intervention of 1000 kilocalorie diet program had also reversed the people from HbA1c 9 to 6.2, but it was only 3 months. We know that type 2 diabetes is primarily a defect of insulin resistance followed by beta cell failure. But first time, the hypothesis of reversal was put by Dr. Roy Teller in 2011, and he talked about twin cycle hypothesis. It is the positive calorie balance which increases liver fat, which increases VLDL triglyceride and increases islet cell triglyceride. Increase in islet cell triglyceride is reason for decreasing insulin response to ingested glucose, and further by it increases the postprandial glucose. So one side there is a liver cycle because of increasing liver fat, and other side there is a pancreatic cycle which is the reason for decreasing insulin response. So if prime driver of chronic excess calorie intake is removed, the direction of these two cycles at the level of liver and pancreas, can it be reversed? And that was what he published in 2013 in Roy Teller in Diacare. But the major challenge was, can it be done in a program in such a way that it can be delivered in a large number of patients? And what is the durability of this reversal of program? And for that, he had planned a direct study. It's an open label cluster randomized controlled trial. It is in Scotland and other parts of England, and where on first year, the patient were losing the weight by 15 kg. In the second year, this loss was little less, number of participants 24% in first year, and it was only 11% after 2 years. Diabetes remission was seen in 46% of the intervention arm in first year, and it was almost 1/3 of the patients after 2 years, they will remain in the diabetes reversal. But the here point was that these patients were given a very low calorie diet for first 3 months, and then their diet was given normal food where more than 50% of the carbohydrate was not allowed. So it should be less than 50% of the carbohydrate, whatever they are eating. But one thing was very sure, the diabetes can be reversed in the patients who have lesser duration of diabetes and those who are willing to do a low calorie diet for 12 weeks or more, and subject should be overweight or obese. So there was a bright future for people with type 2 diabetes, as Freedom from Diabetes from India had also shown this bright future for people with type 2 diabetes from India. So reversal is a fact, and that fact we know that with the clinical trial of direct also that yes, it can be done. But still it is in fiction form, because in real world very less number of patients are getting benefited. Probably the education, more awareness about the diabetes can be reversed, and I think the program which is by Dr. Pramod Tripathi about the freedom from diabetes will increase this awareness to the people that yes, diabetes can be reversed. Reversal in our country becoming slightly more difficult because of what we are eating is more carbs, and the calorie consumption is very high. So if we can reduce it at a significant level, maybe less than 1000 kilocalorie, and in that diet also, it should not be more than 50% of that consumption should not be from the carbohydrate. But I had proposed the journey of diabetes reversal in a staged program. We know that at any level of diabetes, if the patient is on 3 drugs, 4 drugs, or an insulin, if we could reduce the number of medication, if we can reduce the number of different variety of medication, we can call it reversal. And that's what we had put in reversal stage 1, 2, and 3. But before that, there's one is called control. So I mean, after a good lifestyle modification, whatever the medication which they are taking with optimization of therapy, if we can achieve a good control, then we will call it a control. But when we will call the reversal. Before that, let me talk about 5 classes of anti-diabetic drugs which we are using. Insulin provider, which is insulin sulfonylurea-glinides, insulin enhancer, which is GLP-1 and DPP-4, glucose excreter, which is SGLT2, glucose restrictor, which is alpha glucosidase inhibitor, and insulin sensitizer, which is metformin and glitazone. So at any stage, as I told you, when we achieve the HbA1c of less than 7 or less than 6.5 with any medication, we call it glucose control. But reversal stage 1, when we are achieving HbA1c of less than 6.5 without any support of insulin provider. Which are insulin provider? Insulin in sulfonylurea-glinides, GLP-1 or DPP-4. So if we can remove all these 5 classes of the drug in a patient who was taking otherwise, we can call it reversal stage 1, where he is now only on insulin sensitizer, he is only on glucose excreter, and he is only on glucose restrictor. So either of these molecules he is taking. Reversal stage 2, when he is still achieving 6.5, but now he is only on insulin sensitizer. So whatever the medication which he was taking, you stopped everything, and we could put him only on insulin sensitizer. The reversal stage 3, when we are stopping all other medication, but still achieving HbA1c of less than 6.5 because of lifestyle modification, and we call prolonged remission or cure or reversal of diabetes when we are achieving HbA1c less than 5.8 without any medication. Why we are not calling it less than 6.5? The reason is simple, that less than 6.5 still the person is with impaired glucose tolerance. If we could achieve less than 5.8, even patient occasionally, whatever he is, still the post-meal glucose will not be increasing so much, and we can call it prolonged remission. So in real world, patient will follow at a low calorie diet and he will feel more committed. It is more practical approach. It is providing a reward for a sustained hard work for a patient, as it is difficult for many of them to achieve complete remission. So if we put in a stages, it will further help in motivating the patient as well as healthcare professional also. Further studies will be required more. Understanding the benefit of each of stage of reversal would bring to the patient as well as to the health system. And I'm sure the freedom from diabetes will take this research further on. To conclude my talk, type 2 diabetes is a condition that develops in people who consume more calorie than they require over a long period of time. More fat in body can lead to excess liver and pancreatic fat and subsequent loss of plasma glucose control. The traditional concept of type 2 diabetes being irreversible, progressive disease has been challenged. Evidence exists that type 2 diabetes reversal is achievable using bariatric surgery, low-calorie diets, or carbohydrate restriction. As physicians, we must grasp this paradigm shift in our understanding of type 2 diabetes for the benefit of our patient, that reversal of type 2 diabetes is possible. We can think of using stages of reversal rather than complete remission. With this, I once again thank Dr. Pramod for inviting me and sharing my thoughts for reversal of diabetes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sabu. You are in the flight or landed. We don't see you in the room as yet. And what I like about Dr. Sabu is very forward-looking. He's one of the traditional diabetologists, but he's very, very forward-looking to reversal and freedom, and that really sets him apart. And all these innovations which he's done on stages of reversal, I think it's a learning for us also at FFD. If we can start classifying people who are not free, and I just want to make it a point for our research team headed by a wonderful Dr. Nidhi ji, who has been spearheading the entire Muktotsav to make a note of it, that if you can classify those who are not free into these 3 reversal stages, it can be extremely powerful for research purposes and publishing data. So with this wonderful talk by Dr. Sabuji, what we can look at is have a little panel discussion till Dr. Roy Taylor joins in. He should be joining in any time. He's already checked in before. And just a quick thing for Dr. Roy Taylor, if you're watching and if you're ready to join right away, we can have you right away into the program also. Okay, so Dr. Roy Taylor is there in front of us, and we are so happy and glad to have you, sir. Namaste from India. Thank you for joining us. Big pleasure that you are with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As an honor, I would love to share about you for the audience in terms of your background and credentials. Dr. Roy Taylor is a chief guest today. He's a physician, diabetologist, and author. Stays in UK, Newcastle, founder director of the Newcastle Magnetic Resonance Center, professor of medicine metabolism at Newcastle University and Newcastle Hospital, NHS Trust. One of the most powerful things which I've found about Sir's work is a very nicely written book, Life Without Diabetes. Sir, I couldn't sleep the night when the book landed in my hand, and actually I had an acidity acid reflux the other day because I couldn't keep the book down. And I'm not exaggerating, it has actually happened. And I urge everyone to pick up the book. It's very, very insightful and matter of fact, straight in the face with beautiful direct insights. Very, very nice book, sir. Qualified in medicine at the University of Edinburgh, working in type 2 diabetes research since long time. So I was born in 1973. So it's a pleasure to see that work has been happening since a very long time. He was one of the first one to show that type 2 diabetes was a reversible condition and developed a wonderful system for screening for the eye disease and advanced clinical management of diabetes during pregnancy. Author of somewhere I read 300, our team has found 100 scientific publications. So whatever the data is, right, please forgive us. If it's 300, it's 300. What we've gathered is 100 scientific publications. So panel discussion, we are just holding it for a while because Dr. Roy Taylor is there with us. Let's listen to his presentation. He's got his slides ready and he wants to communicate some messages to all of us. So let's welcome Dr. Roy Taylor with a wonderful firework from this 3D screen. So fireworks for Dr. Roy Taylor. A grand welcome to you to join us in this show, sir. Thank you once again for coming over.
Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Tripathi. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to be here speaking to you. But today I'm speaking to you from a distant place. So let me introduce you to Newcastle upon Tyne, where I am speaking from. So if I just share my screen with you, I hope you'll be able to join me in actually seeing Newcastle upon Tyne. Now, the name of a place often gives a clue as to how it's developed. Newcastle. Well, this is our new castle. In fact, it's almost 1,000 years old because it was first built in 1080. So it's done rather well. But because there was a Newcastle there, this place became Newcastle. And this is where all the work on the possibility of diabetes remission has been done. So here we have the castle. This is our lovely cathedral in the center of the city. And you'll see we have a nice blue sky. It's on the east coast of the United Kingdom, and that is a very sunny, cold, but sunny area of the country. It's a good place to be able to think about things. And I'd like to start off by introducing you to some of my patients, because my work has been powered by the fact that for the last almost 50 years, I've been listening to my patients, hearing how it is for people who suffer from type 2 diabetes. I've been trying to help them in various ways, but I've also been trying to push forward in research. And it's really the last 20 years or so that's brought the research to the present place. But I'd like to start off right at the core of what we're dealing with. Let me talk about my patients. Here we have one lady and several other men. They've all given permission for me to show their pictures. But I have a question for you. Which of these people do you think has type 2 diabetes? Here we have a lady of very substantial proportions, men of various types. Perhaps it would help if I was to show you the body mass index. Now remember, body mass index above 25, at least in Europe, is said to be overweight. A body mass index over 30 is said to be obese. They're the formal definitions. So look, this lady is substantially obese. This man, moderately overweight and similar, and only just overweight, and just slightly obese. So who do you think have type 2 diabetes? Well, the answer is very interesting, because none of them have type 2 diabetes. They all used to have type 2 diabetes. And the point I want to make is that a person's size at any one moment in time is not a good guide to what's going on inside them. Let me just expand that further by showing you, first of all, our first person. This is how she used to be, and this is after losing 15 kilograms. You can see that there is a difference, especially around the neck, but it's not huge, and you wouldn't really notice. And yet, at this weight, her own body could not cope with the level of fat, specifically inside the liver and inside the pancreas, and diabetes developed. Our work has shown that if we take that away by the weight loss, then the diabetes goes away. This is a very healthy person from a metabolic point of view. There is no increased risk of any kind to their health, and yet her BMI is still 37. And here we have before and after. And you can see for yourself that this man perhaps looks quite substantial. And here we see the same person after the weight loss, and you can tell the difference. Now, unfortunately, in today's world, this sort of shape of man passes as unremarkable. We've become desensitized to the fact that this is not healthy. That is a much healthier shape. And similarly, a large man, still a large man, but just look, he is far better. Now, this black shirt is particularly significant because he wore that as a young man going out to parties. And he regards it as a badge of pride that he can now fit into his young man's shirt. And again, someone who perhaps, yes, is a bit heavy, but this man still looks a bit heavy, but he is free from diabetes. And the same again, a big man, still a big man, but healthier. The message is very clear. Type 2 diabetes is nothing to do about one person's body mass index. And this is a message especially appropriate for India, because people of Indian ethnicity have a lower range of body mass indexes. So you might feel that you are completely normal weight with a body mass index of, say, 20, but you may still be too heavy for your body. Even in the United Kingdom, 10% of people with type 2 diabetes have a body mass index of less than 25. And my current work, which is due to be published in a few months' time, has been concentrating upon this lightweight group of people because they have exactly the same trouble. They are people who cannot tolerate even small amounts of fat. They have passed by their own personal fat threshold. And any person listening to this who still has type 2 diabetes has more fat in their body than they can personally cope with. It's a very simple disease. But let me show you some pictures from our work. In order to understand what's going on inside the body, I have taken and developed MRI scanning, magnetic resonance image scanning, but used it to get chemical information out of the body. And this is a scan. It's as though we've taken a person, cut them in half through the waist, and we're looking at their body from the feet upwards. And so this is the front of their tummy. That is their back. But you'll see this isn't just an ordinary scan. It's in color. And the reason for this is every dot in this image is made up of the concentration of fat or water at that point. And here is the key. If a dot is red, it's almost 100% fat. If it's this in-between color, greenish, then 30 to 50% fat. Blue or going on to black, very low. But this picture is fairly typical for a person with type 2 diabetes. Here, we see the liver. It's a very large organ, almost filling the upper part of the stomach cavity. And look at its color. It's this greeny blue color. And you can see just by eye that the fat must be somewhere around here. And because we can take precise measurements, we know it's 36% fat. This person's liver is 1/3 made up of fat. Now that's type 2 diabetes. What happened after weight loss of just 15 kilograms? Well, this is the same person 8 weeks later, 15 kilograms lighter, and look at the liver. It is black. The level of fat was extremely low. And I think this pair of images really tells the story. We cannot see what a person is really like on the inside just by their outward appearance. But if a person has type 2 diabetes, they have more fat in their liver than they can cope with, and also more fat in the pancreas. But for those people who have achieved remission of type 2 diabetes and are listening today, I have a further piece of good news. Sometimes you may come across doctors who say, well, your test results are quite good, but really this is just good control by diet. Remission, you've still got diabetes somehow. Remission is just good control. Well, no, remission is completely going back to normal. I can illustrate this most clearly by showing you scans of the whole pancreas. Let's start off over here. This is a scan of the pancreas in a normal person without diabetes. This is a scan of a person with type 2 diabetes matched for weight and age and sex. And you can see that this is a moth-eaten, shriveled little organ. It's substantially less. Now, we had shown way back in 2015 in a completely separate series of studies that the pancreas in type 2 diabetes is small and shriveled. People were surprised at that. But look at what we can now show. With remission, the pancreas goes back to a normal sort of shape, and this is almost normal size. Now here I'm showing you the images of just one person, but these are representative of the whole group. The outline that we calculated mathematically was completely normal at 24 months of remission. The volume was well on the way. It was almost back to normal, but not quite. So you see, you're bringing about major changes in your body by just listening to the message and getting the weight down. The challenge lies in keeping the weight down long term. And there is no easy answer to this. It has to be a continuous effort. It has to be an effort that your whole family joins in with. Not only joins in with for you, but also, how about your children? They share your genes. And what I've described as the personal fat threshold is something that has to be genetically inherited. Your children will be susceptible to getting type 2 diabetes, much more so than the children of parents who have no diabetes. So the best thing you can do for them is to ensure that they enter adult life at a reasonable body mass index, not the same as their friends at school. That is likely to be too high for them, but a body mass index that is healthy for them. Now, Dr. Tripathi kindly already mentioned this book, but I put up a picture of it, partly to emphasize that life without diabetes is a real entity, but also to point out that this book describes life without diabetes. In other words, people who don't have diabetes still have to handle food. And my research over the last 50 years has concentrated on what happens to food in the body. Now, there are many, many people who will tell you what to eat and even how much to eat, but they don't really understand because their understanding stops at the mouth. The fate of food is really important to understand, and I describe it in simple language in the early chapters of this book. It is something that we can now understand to a large extent, and then all the mysteries of what you should eat become quite simple to understand. So here is the book. I would emphasize that all the profits from this book go to Diabetes UK, because they had the foresight to give me a large research grant back in 2008, when all the pieces of this jigsaw puzzle had come together. And I could see type 2 diabetes was a simple condition, but I still had to prove this to show to other doctors. Now we've been able to demonstrate very clearly that it is a reversible condition, that it's due to too much fat inside the liver and pancreas. It's no fault of yours that you were susceptible to fat more so than other people. But huge congratulations to people who have actually taken action and got rid of their diabetes. Now, the bare bones of how to do it is also available for free and has been since 2011 on our website, written here. But with these words, I would just congratulate those of you who've taken the effort to lose this weight, to step outside type 2 diabetes, and to grab health once again. It is so important. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Once again, wonderful, precise, insightful, and just wonderful. I would love to take an opportunity, sir, to showcase in next 3 to 4 minutes what work has happened through Freedom from Diabetes. So you can get a grasp of what's happening from this small little town called Pune, which is a part of a state called Maharashtra in India. I have not taken out pictures. I could have, the way you took for the Newcastle building. It was really amazing to connect with the history and the place. So a very quick overview for you and everybody else who hasn't been together over the last 4 days. We've been celebrating a great event called Muktotsav, a festival of freedom for the last 4 days. And I'm just going to give you snippets of that in this short presentation. So we initiated work in 2013 with very small groups of 5 or 10 people. After reading research papers by Dr. Bernard, Dr. Cousins, Dr. Furman, and yours, the book came much later in my hands. And these were smaller batches in the initial part. And slowly the word spread, and we could actually get a lot more people joining us from 2017-18. And why I use the word batch is because we understood early on that without group therapy, you're not going to sustain the weight loss. You're not going to sustain the shift in their body type, their body shape. So we have got huge initiatives on not only weight loss, but also making them identify their athletic identity. Are they more of a gymmer, a runner, or a cyclist, or a yogi? And it all happens through group therapy, a group chat, group energy, group sessions, practice sessions, and all. So what has happened in this last 6, 7, 8 years, results so far, sure you would love seeing these numbers. As of yesterday, we have 11,314 people either free of insulin or medicine or both. Okay, I repeat, 11,300 either of insulin or medicine or both. Of these, 1,700 plus are free of insulin alone, 1,741 to be precise. We have 8,780 free of medicines, diabetes medicines, and a great number of 845 people free of insulin medicine both. So total number 11,300 plus free, of which 1,700 free of insulin, 8,700 free of medicine, and 845 free of both. What's also interesting to note is today we celebrate those who've not only been free or have been under remission, but who've cleared GTT, glucose tolerance test. We've been using this test, and there is a significant number of people who are passing this test for last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and even 6 years. So we gave awards to those who could follow and keep their weight maintained, and not only weight maintained, but keep their body really fit, mind really positive. And it's a big number, sir. 204 people have completely passed glucose tolerance test in 2021 alone. And few of them, again, it's a significant number, whereby the fasting sugar, always kind of troubles because of the liver dump in the morning. So they were in impaired glucose tolerance test, impaired glucose tolerance capacity, 164 people. So 204 GTT, 164 IGT in this year alone. And if you track back for the last 6 years, whatever data we could gather, because first 2-3 years, we didn't think of doing glucose tolerance test, from a mere number of 36 people who could either pass GTT or IGT. Today, we have multiplied it 10 times. We have 368 people who are easily able to handle all the Indian sweets. I'm not sure whether you've tried any of our Indian sweets. They're quite delicious. And in India, there's a big culture of festivals and sweets around festivals. So all of these people have been easily being able to handle this. And many of them, more than 3,000 people we have who have lost 10 plus kgs of body weight. And I've just instructed the research team that let's track the people who have lost 15 plus, because your 15 number has been resonating in my mind since I've gone through the book. And I'm sure we can come back to you with those numbers exactly as to how many people are sustainably free of 15 kg body weight. The results for this particular program, which is called the Intensive Reversal Program, and we prefer to do a year long. When we started in 2013, we tried to do a one-time program. Then we tried a 1 month, we tried a 3 month, we tried a 4 month, we tried a 6 month. And we realized for sustainable human change, you need to bind them from Christmas to Christmas, from New Year's to New Year's, from Diwali to Diwali. And till that time, you don't put them into the grind, it becomes difficult. So we've got a little complex process of 5 phases whereby they undergo some adjustment in the beginning for 4 to 8 weeks. And what you talk of as rapid weight loss, we do in something called as an acceleration phase, where they do juice feasting on once a week, and they do intermittent fasting. And we've got 6 or 7 types of intermittent fasting, so that they can identify what suits them, what they enjoy, what they and their family can sustainably do for a reasonable period of time till they hit that kind of a 5-point drop in BMI. We were insisting 5-point drop in BMI from wherever they are. We also do a lot of work on psychology. use inner transformation processes for 3 months, because we find diet starts the change, exercise kind of sustains it, but once the mind has shifted, you kind of engulf the change permanently. There's a very interesting process around this, and we push them to become stronger, faster, more strength, more stamina, more flexibility is brought in through a 3-month process of athletic specialization. And then slowly they move to independence. Different people, because they have different BMIs, they go through different phases at different paces also. Some of them are constant, some of them are faster. Working through diet, exercise, inner transformation, and medical. 4 classic protocol, all evolved in-house over the last 8-9 years, sir. There's alkalizing in the beginning, then cleansing, second phase for the diet part, then actual muscle building. So we move from 1300, 1400 calorie diet here to anything between 800, 1000, 1200 calorie diet over here. This one goes to 1800 to 2000, at times 2200 calorie diet, depending on their ability to handle things. And we've got a nice 6-month process called as glycemic ladder training, whereby every week they're given higher and higher carb loads to check how much are they able to handle. Okay, 15-20% can have a spike in sugars again. They might have to be restarting the medicines also, but we don't compromise the muscle building phase, because we find this is something that really sustains reversal. And then they go on a maintenance diet. That's on the diet front, 4 phases. On the exercise front, we promote a lot more exercises, like something very indigenous to India is Surya Namaskaras, but sun salutations. But many of them can't do standing ones, so we insist on them doing in a sitting posture. Chair Surya Namaskaras, and that's very good to move the stagnated lymph and work on the inflammation. Dr. Bhushan Patwardhan, also a great researcher who's also there as a panel of team of speakers and guests, special guests today, he talked of inflammation. And we work a lot on inflammation through the right exercise, right breathing, yoga practices, and then bringing in a variety of exercises that they will enjoy, right from aerobic to strength training to Zumba to cycling to running to gymming, and let them take big goals. So you'll be very happy to know we have hundreds of people beyond 60 years of age who do 108 Surya Namaskaras very easily, very comfortably, which is a very, very big number. Many 70 years plus people are doing 100 kilometer cycling, 50 kilometer cycling. They're doing 21 kilometer running after the age of 50, starting after that, but slow, steady, easy, injury-free. And that's how we build up a very, very integrated, powerful protocol, which people love, enjoy, and bless us for. In a transformation, we run 2 battery of psychological tests. One is to know their anxiety and depression scores, and second is to know their optimism, pessimism scores. Both these tests are run at different points of time in the year, and whoever comes low, like we find 33 to 35% people have anxiety, depression. Their counseling is started right from the first month. We find almost 45% people in a pessimistic zone, which at times affects their freedom with which they eat comfortably or exercise freely, and we coach them on that. There are a lot of meditation and counseling is done to release negative energy, a lot of goal setting, vision boarding. You know what you said, that person was wearing a black t-shirt, which for him is such a proud moment. He used to wear it in college or younger days. So many of them visioning that they're getting into their wedding suits, and visualizing that, meditating on that every Sunday for 15 minutes through goal achievement meditation. So a lot of stress release meditation, a lot of goal achievement meditation, and a 3-month commitment for a 15-minute journaling and 15-minute meditation is what we do as a part of the 1-year program, which makes it really interesting. Last part is our medical protocol, where we use a unique battery of tests. We don't have the luxury of MRI scanners here, sir. What we do is fasting insulin test, and that's very defining, an HSCRP along with many other tests, and we track them over every 3 months because that is what is affordable for people. We give supplements, typically iron deficiency we see very commonly, B12, D3, I think all of us know it. So those are given basic supplements. And what we offer, which is very unique in the entire world maybe, is we give a doctor who works with you every day for the full year through an app. So you plug in your sugars and you've got a doctor who will respond to you in terms of reduction or increase of your medications through the FFD app. And through this kind of a support, there's a lot of anxiety gets released and they get proper guidance. Those who can do their fat and muscle, whatever percentages through simple machines, which are on bioimpedance, we look at that, but they're not very accurate, but at least give some degree of idea. Okay, so that's our fourth protocol. So medical protocol, inner transformation, exercise, and diet. We phase it out over 5 phases. And that is what has been a big thing for us. So we've seen around 50-60% type 2 becoming free of insulin, 40-50% becoming free of medications. Weight loss, we have 57 kg also lost last year, still sustained. Many people with 30 kg also sustained over 2 years, 3 years. We need to just put our act together and get the research data published, which many doctors have behind us. We also track muscle gain for the low BMI, because in India, you have thin fat Indians. And that's a very, very big number over here. And we need to ensure that what happens is more problem for them is a social challenge when they start becoming thin, their families, kind of passing comments and they start feeling depressed. So we kind of work on helping them maintain also and gain weight for those who need it. So this is a quick summary. And we've been running and building this entire system with one dream since 8-9 years, to have a number in our software where we can see 100,000 diabetics who are free by 2025. And this is our yearly festival. And I can't tell you how blessed we feel, how fortunate we feel that we have you with us. We had wonderful energies of Dr. Bernard last year blessing us. And this year, coming from you, your inputs are so wonderful. So this is a little input about FFD. And we've got Dr. Bhushan Patwardhan ji also with us. I would love to invite him on stage. And we just have one question for this small panel that we have. Dr. Mazhar Ganla ji also can come on the stage, please. He's our expert who's revolutionized the athletic identity part at FFD. I just have a question for Dr. Bhushan ji and Dr. Roy Taylor, and depending on time permitting, we might pitch in for that. The question is very simple. What could be, according to you, the key ideas or key actions that we could do so that diabetes reversal and metabolic syndrome reversal can be taken at a mass level in the entire world? So Dr. Roy Taylor, your inputs, please.
Thank you, Dr. Tripathi. I enjoyed that presentation. Congratulations on this huge success.
Sure.
So what could be done that would be most effective? Well, it really transcends the level of individuals, because we have to recognize that humans are just the same as any other group of animals. They reflect their environment. Now, what we see with this increasing weight in the population is purely a reflection of the food environment. Now, of course, that's not all bad news. It reflects some economic advance, and that's a good thing. But the bad thing about the food environment, especially in Britain, perhaps slightly less so in India, is the hidden sugar that is present in processed foods. So anything inside an artificial packet, we have to be suspicious of. But it's a problem that transcends what the manufacturers do. It's really a lack of legal regulation. We've got to recognize that food itself in excess is a poison. Now, legislators quite rightly legislate about lead and other noxious poisons, but for various reasons, at least in the Western world, the food companies provide huge financial incentives for politicians of all political parties. This is not a political issue. This is an overall problem of politicians, because they need the finance to support their own activities. And yet, because of this, the population is being poisoned. So my answer as to one simple thing that to do to make it stick, in addition to all the very important points you've made, would be to work on the legislators. They need to realize the enormity of their task in preventing not only the present workforce, the present population, but our children from following the same path. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please be around, sir. Dr. Bhushan ji, what could be, according to you, some key ideas or actions that we could take to, really popularize reversal across the country and the world?
Thank you, Dr. Tripathi. Actually, there is hardly anything left for me to talk after Dr. Roy has talked, And I must tell you that there are doctors, there are good doctors, there are excellent doctors, and there are legends. Dr. Roy Taylor is a legend, and the work which he has done is amazing at that time when nobody was ready to believe that disease like diabetes can be reversed. He did that, showed that scientifically also. And Dr. Roy, what work you have done is a God's work, because people with diabetes have become really gullible and they are getting exploited. There is a huge medicalization that has happened. And I agree totally with you, Dr. Tripathi. We must work together for India to save India, because we are not yet as spoiled as some of the Western countries in terms of the food habits. We still have pockets where our cultural foods and our ethnic food habits have been retained. So we must regain that. And the policy shift which is needed is absolutely essential. The policymakers should believe that medicalization is not going to be the way to health. For health, you need to focus more on prevention. And to do that, you have to focus on food, nutrition, environment, and behavior and lifestyle. These are the things which we should bring in more powerfully in the policy. And I think the new policy, Dr. Roy, fortunately, the National Health Policy 2017, which is the recent one, is focusing on that. And I was part of evolving that. And even now, at the government level, we are pushing that this kind of approach, wherein prevention is at the center stage and not only treatment should prevail. So thank you for your comments. That really helps us in concentrating our own determination in this, which is difficult, because we are fighting this against giants. So this is going to be difficult, but ultimately people's power will prevail. And the facilitators like Dr. Tripathi will be a great boon under your guidance. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you. Dr. Malhar leads our initiative whereby people really transform their health, not only lose weight but also become stronger and fitter. Dr. Malhar, anything you would like to share of what are the key ideas or actions we could do to really popularize reversal at a large scale?
It's highly intimidating to be among two such legends. Luckily, in the screen, I'm not in between them, so I'm not sandwiched. So, Dr. Roy Taylor, I've read your book. It was like Dr. Pramod, I also lost sleep. And I couldn't believe anyone could put it so simply. So you got to teach us how with 50 years of research, you made that book so simple that a layperson could read it. I mean, that was a lesson in itself. So please accept our compliments. Okay, on, Dr. Pramod, you'll find it interesting. In 2013, I attended a child obesity conference in Canada. And the person there presented a phenomenal piece of research where he said, if the amount of Canada spends on healthcare, because healthcare there is free, they don't charge for healthcare. So he said the billions that they're spending on healthcare, and they spend, I think, 1/1000th of it on prevention. And he showed that for every dollar they increase on prevention, they save 1,000 times more on post-treatment. So they were trying to increase the physical education part of it. But again, so the treatment was not just awareness, it was actual grassroots spending on some initiative where you could prevent this same illness, say 20 years. The gestation of lifestyle illnesses is almost 10-20 years. So it was a fascinating conference that just $1 here saves 1,000 at that end, so we could think about that. But from our perspective, it's just fascinating that we didn't realize that Indians would take to exercise the way we have been able to get them to. And we have used a twin model where, I'm borrowing a term from your book, but not that twin model. We have used the heart and the brain. So we appeal to them at a heart level to find an identity. And we convince the mind to set a few goals there. And when the heart and the mind combine, we find that the choice of sport given to them by the heart and the goals given by the mind, they tend to perform things that they never thought they could perform. And that keeps them so committed to reversal that the diet somehow just falls into place, because as athletes, they can't eat stuff that a diabetic would feel bad not eating. But an athlete doesn't really care about that because he wasn't going to eat that in the first place. So we find this shift in identity from diabetic to athletic produces a lifelong shift in perspective, and they don't feel so bad anymore. Thanks so much.
Thanks all. Dr. Duria, I think it's back to you. I think we just want for the last few minutes, all of us to be around. There's some video, I guess, Dr. Duria. So do share about that, and all the lovely athletic people. Let's actually see them in action, win the photographs, get charged with the way they look. So Dr. Duria, over to you.
Well, these have been absolutely insightful, enriching talks we've had by Dr. Bhushan as well as Dr. Roy Taylor. And thank you, Dr. Malhar, for those inputs. And what inspiration, motivation it has been over the past few days that we have been celebrating this Freedom Festival Muktotsav. And we have a short video coming up of the smiling photographs of the winners.
To watch everyone and feel inspired, feel the energy of what they have. Tech team, let's have the video.
मुश्किल होगा ये विश्वास करना कि एक डायबिटिक 15 चम्मच शुगर खाके ग्लूकोज टॉलरेंस टेस्ट ले और उसका शुगर लेवल 140 के पार न जाए, लेकिन ये सच है और इसका श्रेय जाता है डॉक्टर प्रमोद त्रिपाठी के फ्रीडम फ्रॉम डायबिटीज प्रोग्राम को। आज ये सब सच में आजाद है डायबिटीज से।
Wow. The smiling faces do reflect that feeling of freedom, that joy of breaking the shackles that have tied them down, have restricted them from living the life of the true potential, of discovering in many ways their inner potential, especially on the athletic level, of bringing joy and happiness and freedom, not only to an individual, but to an entire family and in a way to the society at large. So Freedom from Diabetes in its 8th year has been doing phenomenal work, bringing such smiles to people across the country and across the world. And we look forward to more than 100,000 being free by 2025, backed with a team of 200 plus, a very strong and fully dedicated and passionate team that is there to support the individuals on the reversal journey. We have a team of doctors, mentors, we have experts in the diet, exercise, and stress release field. We have a very strong tech innovation team, and of course, the support staff without which this would not happen. So smilingly, happily, with full dedication, Freedom from Diabetes has been helping thousands achieve reversal, thousands achieve freedom, thousands achieving a life which was only a dream once they were known to be diabetic. So we look forward to one more annual mega event coming up next year, where we hope to have more than 500 people clearing their GTT and ITT, and of course, lots more losing a lot of weight, getting healthier, getting to be athletes, getting to be inspired by the freedom stories that we have shared in the last 3 days. Yes, so all of you watching this today and also watching it in the days to come, start dreaming, start visualizing that you have that coveted medal around your neck. Be one of the 500 plus GTT and IGT champions in the coming year. And yes, we have a few announcements before we look forward to seeing you next year. So I think most of you have already, those who are FFDians, and we have thousands of them across the world in different cities, different countries. So to bring them together on a common platform, we have an FFD club. And in case you haven't yet, in fact, this club is with the idea to keep them connected, the community in that particular city, to support. It's, to share their joys, their challenges, to share some new things that they have been experimenting on the exercise or the diet front, and keep that spirit of community and support going that helps not only them, but the entire community there to achieve diabetes reversal and enjoy good health. So these link to join the FFD club. There is a Google form which has been sent on the various batch groups on the WhatsApp. So those who would like to, please do click and register yourself and start looking for the FFD clubs in your city or town. Well, we also have, this is our second year of going and online, and we have been reaching out to thousands of people across the world. And we would like that those who have won awards in these various events that have happened over the last 3 years, 3 days, there is a selfie booth where you can click a photograph and put it up. This all is available on the platform option. So please, it's not available on YouTube or Facebook, but on the platform option. You can also talk with the champions, the freedom champions that have happened in the last 3 days, connect with them, understand their challenges and how they went about their journey towards freedom and success. And of course, there's an online first session happening on Friday, 23rd December in Hindi, of course. But for those who would be curious and want to know more about how they can initiate themselves in this journey towards freedom. So those were some short announcements. And of course, you can get connected, stay inspired. We have our website, we have a Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, and lots of ways in which you can get connected with us. And of course, it's been an enthralling 4 days of this mega celebration that we have experienced. We are all charged up, we are all inspired, we are all motivated to go ahead and do better than the best that we can. And we look forward to more happening next year. We are indeed honored and privileged to have such special guests in our midst. Thank you, Dr. Roy Taylor, for joining us. Thank you, Dr. Bhushan Patwardhan, for joining us. And of course, Dr. Manohar. It's been our pleasure and absolute honor and privilege. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And thank you for the entire team, back-end team, which has been working relentlessly, the entire research team, the diet team, the marketing team, and all the coordinators who've done a phenomenal job. It's difficult to take everyone's name, so big thanks to all of you. And at 8 o'clock sharp India time, we are kind of closing this program only to continue for some 10-15 minutes tete-a-tete with Dr. Taylor for all the 200 FFDNs who are looking forward to directly talk and chat with Dr. Roy Taylor. So please, sir, be around. Dr. Bhushanji, if you want to be around for this talk, you're welcome to be there. And for all the viewers, thank you very much for supporting this program for the last 4 days. It's been a joy, and the whole visual effect and the number of people who are joining the programs and appreciating the feedback that we are getting is just amazing. So thank you all. Love you all. Power to you all. Reversal to all of us. Freedom to all of us. And growth to all of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, and may the slogan of Main Azad Hu reverberate all over the country and all over the world. Main Azad Hu is I am free.
I'm free. Azad. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye, and see you all next year at the Muktotsav. Thank you.